Chapter 8. We Capture a Flag. The next few days were a whirlwind of camp activities, but everything was leading up to Friday night. Friday was Capture the Flag night. It wasn't just a game here. It was a full-on war simulation. The camp divided into two teams, and the bragging rights were legendary. This time, it was Athena Cabin leading the blue team, which meant we were allied with Apollo and Hermes. On the red team was Ares Cabin, allied with pretty much everyone else. Annabeth, as captain of the blue team, was in her element. She walked around with a blueprint of the woods, directing strategy like a general before a battle. She pulled me aside as we were getting our armor on. She handed me a shield and a helmet with a blue horsehair plume. "You're on border patrol," she said, pointing to a spot on her map near a creek that divided the two territories. "You're putting me on the sideline?" I asked, a little disappointed. "I thought you wanted me on your team." "What you do is critical," she said, her gray eyes intense. "Stay by the creek. Don't let anyone past you. Just hold them there." Before I could argue, she said, "Oh, and here." She handed me something. It was a New York Yankees baseball cap. "My magic invisibility cap," she explained. "I won't be needing it if my plan works." And with that, she vanished. So there I stood, by myself, next to a little creek in the middle of the woods, feeling like a glorified security guard. The conch horn blew, signaling the start of the game. I could hear yelling and the clash of metal in the distance, but my patch of woods was quiet, too quiet. Then I heard them. A group of campers crashing through the undergrowth, heading right for me. It was Clarice from the Ares cabin, and she had 5 of her biggest, ugliest siblings with her. She was holding a 5-foot-long spear that crackled with electricity. It was a gift from her dad. "There he is," she snarled. "The punk who made me look like a fool. We're going to pulverize him." I drew my sword. My hands were sweating, 6 against 1. This was not going to be pretty. They came at me all at once. I tried to remember the lessons Chiron had given me, but my movements were clumsy. I was a novice. They were trained warriors. Clarice's spear jabbed at me, and a jolt of electricity shot up my arm, making my teeth rattle. One of her brothers slashed my arm, and a searing pain made me cry out. I stumbled backward, right into the creek. I thought I was done for. But the second the water touched my skin, something happened. The exhaustion, the pain in my arm, it all just washed away. The water seemed to surge around me, and a feeling of power flooded my veins. My mind cleared. I could see every move they were about to make. When Clarice lunged with her spear again, I didn't just block it. I caught the shaft, redirected the point into the dirt, and snapped it over my knee. The magic weapon, a gift from a god, splintered into useless pieces. Her siblings charged, but it was like they were moving in slow motion. I parried, sidestepped, and disarmed them one by one, my sword a blur. I wasn't just defending myself anymore. I was fighting, and I was winning. Just as I knocked the last of them into the creek, I heard whooping and cheering from the woods behind me. Luke came running into the clearing, holding a red-plumed helmet and banner, the Ares flag. Annabeth appeared right next to me, taking off her invisibility cap. She'd set the whole thing up. Clarice was just a diversion, so Luke could sneak in and grab the flag. The blue team had won. Campers poured out of the woods, lifting Luke and me onto their shoulders. It was the first time I felt like I truly belonged. The celebration was cut short by a howl, a deep, guttural sound that didn't belong to any animal I'd ever heard. It came from the rocks above us, and a creature leaped down into our midst. It was a dog the size of a rhinoceros with eyes like pools of lava and teeth like daggers. "A hellhound!" someone screamed. "From the fields of punishment!" Panic erupted. Campers scattered. The monster wasn't supposed to be here. The camp's magical borders were supposed to keep things like this out. But it was here, and its burning eyes were locked on me. It lunged. I was too slow, too stunned to move. It slammed into me, its claws tearing through my armor and into my chest. I felt a searing pain, and then the beast was gone, a dozen arrows sprouting from its neck as it dissolved into a cloud of black dust. Chiron stood where it had been, his bow still raised. I was bleeding badly. Annabeth yelled, "Percy, the water, get in the water." I stumbled back into the creek, and just like before, the water began to heal me. The deep gashes on my chest started to close. As I stood there dazed, a light began to glow above me. A green holographic light, swirling and spinning in the air. It solidified into a single image, floating right over my head. A trident, the three-pointed spear of the sea god. The clearing went completely silent. Every camper, every satyr, every nymph stared at the glowing green symbol above me. Then, one by one, they knelt. Luke, Clarice, all my cabin mates. Annabeth was the first to find her voice. "It's determined," she whispered in awe. Kieran's voice boomed across the clearing, his face grim. "Your father," he said, his voice full of a new, terrible respect. "This is not a matter to be taken lightly. This is a sign from the god of the seas." He looked right at me, and I felt the weight of every eye in the camp. "Hail, Perseus Jackson," he announced, his voice echoing in the sudden silence. "Son of the Earthshaker, son of the Stormbringer, son of the father of horses. Hail, son of Poseidon."